Bitcoin had the flattest weekend imaginable, nothing going on. But is there something really going on in the back? So joining us to discuss that and other things is 21.co co-founder and CEO Hani Washwan. Welcome back, Hani.
Thanks for having me again.
Glad to see you. So, the market's trying to digest what happened with Silvergate, and we just saw also China lowering its GDP target. But let's touch on the Silvergate impact first. Do you see anything happening here with Silvergate, which was the cash bank for a lot of these centralized U.S.-based centralized exchanges? The way they did their banking for so long. A lot of them have since left, but nonetheless, is there some sort of impact with the markets, with the crypto markets, because we're seeing this sort of downward spiral in Silvergate?
I think it's important to note that we don't yet know how the Silvergate story will end up, although it doesn't look quite positive for the bank right now, and their customers are leaving. We don't see too much of a material impact on the price from Silvergate, although I would obviously concede that I think it's one of several factors that's driving the price right now. There are clearly a bunch of factors that are much more powerful than the Silvergate, which should be small and relatively siloed in its impact.
What are those more powerful factors?
So I think we saw a rally last month, for example, that was a bit overbought. People got into it a little bit too much. We're seeing some of that start to decrease. Crypto is fairly unique in the United States in that you can, it's one of those assets that you're able to purchase right before the taxes are due, right before the year ends, and sort of get that loss and then be able to purchase the same asset exactly in January. A lot of other assets don't allow that. And so we saw a lot of buying action in January. What we're seeing overall is a general flight to quality across the board. And that has an impact on the companies, the protocols, as well as the underlying tokens.
Do you think at least some of that buying, though, might have come from people trying to get out of, let's say, BUSD? I mean, there were some issues involved, obviously, with whether or not it'll be a stable coin, with what's happening, the peg BUSD being an issue. Do you think that people might have used Bitcoin as a way to exit their Binance USD position, their BUSD position, and then ultimately just said, all right, well, you know what, I'll just hold it for now, and then, let's see where I'll sell it?
I think after everybody, and a lot of people got burned on FTX, and it seemed like the exchange that could not fail. It is possible that people are overcorrecting with some of the things that are coming out. We don't see a lot of the Bitcoin purchases stemming directly from the Silvergate or the BUSD crisis, although there's obviously, you can just see it in the decrease in market cap of BUSD, a lot of fears there. Rather, we actually see, generally speaking, people becoming more comfortable. To give you another data point, we're the world's largest issuer of crypto exchange-traded products. This past January and February are the second highest in terms of inflows in company history. And we wouldn't be used as a way to use Bitcoin to get out of BUSD or something like that. The people that are purchasing are purchasing, like I said, largely high quality assets, Bitcoin, the big indexes, Ethereum, Solana, etc. And a lot of the Bitcoin purchases that we've been seeing, including the largest, I believe, single day purchase of BTC, is coming from renewed optimism and people liking where the price is primarily, and less to do with some of these news that again are weighing down on it, but I wouldn't say significantly.
How much do you think it has to do with Asia opening up, with this, specifically China, now that COVID has, they're loosening up their restrictions there? It could be that, the crypto markets, are caught between a Silvergate but an opening China.
Yes, I saw that article. I think there was an article with that headline. It's definitely helpful. Specifically, a lot of East Asian traffic was subdued for quite some time due to a number of factors, both economic and political. And that opening up is clearly bullish and sending a lot of buy signals. I think it's also important to mention that we are seeing a lot of natural price movements and discoveries, though. And so to give you an example, of the big assets that we track and have products for, Avalanche is one of the outliers in that it's down, and that was linked directly to a decline in daily activity on the network. Whereas some of the assets that we're seeing that are up this month versus last month where everything was up. I mean, I think Solana was up 140%. Mana, Phantom were up a lot. The big assets that were up last month, again, of the ones that we track, so slightly bigger, were Optimism, were Lido. And that is directly linked to very real, tangible contributions or TVL growth on those networks. And so, if anything, we're seeing some of those outliers besides the biggest, highest quality assets. The ones that are popular are actually having behind them a significant amount of development, a significant amount of some updates.